Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are here for your below deck down under coverage. Yes, so everyone grab your white wine and your ice for your new captain, me. Yes, unfortunately, Rob isn't here, y'all, but it's okay because I am joined by my first mate, the only person I'd want to talk this mess with, of course. Chappell is here. How are you?
Sasha, it's me, the chief entertainment officer. What's up?
Yes, I know. I was like, do I demote you to that? Because that's actually who you are.
That's kind of my brand. Yeah, look, I'm so excited for this. I know we're sad Rob isn't here, but we're about to get over it really
Yes,
quickly because this is going to be a good
I
time.
know. Listen, everyone, you, Rob is great. And we're messy. So you get all of it. All right. And Rob will be back. I'm sure we'll bully him to come back. Don't worry. But it's okay. The toxic faves are here and we have a lot to talk about. So before we even get into anything, Chappelle, I just wanted to say, we'd asked for 60 reviews when we
Mhm.
started when we said, hey, give us 60 and then we'll get to below deck down under. We're at 75 ratings.
Hey, this is my first time as a full-time deckhand, and
Yeah.
to already have 75 ratings on my look, this is good. This is great.
Yes, we're killing it. So, everyone, again, thank you so much. I really have read all of your ratings and reviews. So, please make sure you're subscribed to the Bravo TV RHAP Ups feed. That's where all of this is. And make sure you're leaving us a 5-star. Please, 5-star only. All right. Help us out so that Rob knows we should keep going. And let's get to 100 and maybe we
Yeah,
can have something fun for 100. I don't know what. Let us know what you think we
right.
should do for a
Now,
hundred
should I
five-star
wear a
reviews.
costume? I should wear a costume, right? Like I should definitely
Yes.
wear a
Okay,
costume.
Chappelle can wear a costume.
Like a rose in my mouth and then like a
Oh,
can hat, like a hat or
yes.
whatever. Yeah, I
And
got
you
it.
have
I
to
can do
wake
this.
us up.
Yeah, for sure. I gotta
Oh.
wake up all the listeners with a rose in my mouth. Okay, I can do this.
Okay, yeah, and you just can wear your bow tie.
Yeah, I got that too.
I know. Oh, perfect. Great. So if we get to 100, which I feel like we can get there, it's 25 left. So we're at 75 ratings. Get us to 100 ratings and we get a Chappelle costume. I
Yay.
think it's more than fair and it's possible. So come on, everyone, 100 ratings and let's do it. And before we get started and get deep into it, how did
Mhm.
you feel about these two episodes?
This is my first official charter as
Yes.
CEO or skipper or whatever the case may be, and I enjoyed it. This was fun. I remember the last season of Below Deck that I watched. It kind of started off kind of slow because you gotta do a little world building, right? You have to set up the
Mm-hmm.
ship and kind of like the dynamics on the boat, and then pretty soon you start to talk about the mess. And so we started to get there a little bit. We're still meeting some of the people. We're still, we're meeting Margot, and then we're getting the return of Culver. But then the mess starts creeping in, right? There's some love triangling going on, which I really enjoy. Of course, that's why we come here to talk
Yes,
about the mess. So,
correct.
all in all, this was a good episode.
100%. I think we got a little bit of everything, and the captain Jason and Asia, who is again the chief stew, they were on a few. They were doing a few like the press junkets basically, and in one of them they said that there is more guest drama this time than there is like crew drama, which I think could be fun because I love making fun of rich people. So let's see. I think again, Brandon and Crystal have been a hot mess. So I'm excited. What's more to come? Give me all the mess. And we do have a love pentagon, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
it's going to
yeah.
be wild.
Guest drama is going to be fun. I don't know how I felt about the guest drama in the first episode because well, not
Ooh.
the first episode, but like the second episode.
Yeah.
Because in episode one, it was like, oh yeah, they're messy, and then by episode two, it just kind of felt like they were trying to keep that mess going, and it really didn't go anywhere. Like I thought it was going to go in the first episode. Because Crystal and Brandon are a mess. Like I said,
Mm-hmm.
when you work with a Brandon, this is something that you're probably going to deal with. It's our brand, Brandon, and so I wasn't shocked by that. But like I said, by the end, it just felt like they were just yelling at each other for no reason.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that Brandon and Crystal almost knew that they had to be the fools.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, great, that's why we are on. That's why we're ready to go. Maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. It's very weird. But either way, let's get into it. And we do have Valencia here. Hi, who said she
Hey.
doesn't watch the show, but she loves us. Shout out to everyone that doesn't watch the show. But listen, we're gonna take you beat by beat. You're fine. We'll get through it all. So let's get into it. We opening line, F you, Captain. And it's like we all would like to, but that doesn't mean we will say that to Captain.
Look, they like the captain. I mean, Captain Jason, this is the hot captain that they've been dying to have. And we see this, I guess it's going to be a repeated theme throughout the series,
Yes.
Sasha, is that everybody is going to hit on the captain in a different shape, form, or fashion.
Correct. Yeah. Hashtag Captain Cutie. It's his brand. They're using his body.
Listen, sometimes your body is meant to be used, and that's a personal choice. You have to make that decision on your own.
Correct. Listen, he's at anything for the tips. So maybe we'll get the tip. I don't know. Either way, it is what it is. We're making it through. But it felt like the captain kind of just like was okay with like chill. He was just kind of like, yes, you're cursing me out. I don't care. Just put your clothes on, put the boobs away, and get the hell out of here. But then they have the chutzpah to be like, great, we won't go in the water. But Crystal says, can you give me champagne?
Oh, yeah, she's a mess. This champagne is going to keep. It's like a repeating thing throughout the entire episode. Like, I need champagne. I need champagne now. I need champagne. Like, lady, we just rescued you from the ocean where you could have died, and you also broken the rules. We should really be putting you off the boat. Why are you still trying to drink right now? These people are on demon time, Sasha.
Listen, been there, but I don't think I would ever be embarrassed like that, if that makes sense. Like if someone was like, you need to go home, I'd be like, yes, you're correct. I should go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it got to the point where you have to take a step back and look at yourself and be like, okay, am I drama? Am I doing too much? Like, there's a line between having fun and then like where you're embarrassing yourself. You know, the day where you wake up the next day and you're like, did I do something stupid? She was living in that moment and did not care.
No, at nothing. Not one F was given. And she just goes on and on with that, right? Because eventually he does get them to bed. But in the morning, she starts her BS again. And she claps at Asia and says, I would like champagne. Maybe 5 a.m. is a good time.
Mm-hmm. By 5:15, I need my champagne. Thank you.
Like,
what?
Can you imagine? This is what I know I couldn't work in the service industry because I would have been like, bitch, you've lost your damn mind, right? Like there is no way. Like I'm getting fired day one. But not only that, it's so disrespectful. And newsflash, you're not even the primary.
No, you get out of the way, Carmen. What are you doing? And she's gonna get yelled at a few times as well. But yeah, starting off the day saying, I need champagne now. Actually, I should have had it at 5:15. It's a choice. I am the king of day drinking. I say that you cannot be drunk all day if you don't start in the morning. So I understand 5:15 champagne sounds like a good time, but it's the way you're asking for it. You're not even asking, you're demanding this champagne. But also, if you want to get drunk early in the morning, you set that up yourself. Like I make sure I make accommodations for myself to where I don't have to bother other people with my drunkenness in the morning. Then when the champagne comes out, I'll be ready.
You just like to wake other people up with your
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look, with the rose. but no, I just really think that you can handle this differently. These people are really in their diva era. They're just like, I'm living on this boat. I'm going to be extra. I'm sure the producers are loving it too because it gives these deckhands and stuff a thing to panic about, something to work for. But it still looks really bad. Like I wouldn't want anybody to know I was on the show.
I hear that. And Rusty in the chat literally says, leave a warm water bottle at her door. And I can't, right? Like the Rusty, where's the lie though?
Yeah, it's just come out like, here you go. Here's your champagne. Damn, take it. Just like leave it laying outside on the floor. It's a lot. It's a lot, but whatever. they're gonna get drunker. That's if nothing else happens on this show, you get drunk, you make mistakes, and then you drink the pain away.
As you should, just get drunker. And Asia and the captain were on Watch What Happens Live, and Asia did say that every drink she makes is a double shot.
Look,
that's her
queen,
base.
That's my kind of bartender right there. Okay,
Correct.
if you're starting out with a double shot, I have no complaints. I got that's the thing. When you see somebody going the extra mile for you, you can tell your glass is a little bit more. You can tell they hooked you up. Show some love. I know you're gonna tip at the end, but damn, can you get off these people's necks?
Yeah, the tip was trash. I'll just say that. Spoiler alert, it sucked. But with all of that, right? So I think that's kind of the guest drama. Like, they fight again the next day, and Brandon's like, pack your bags. You're getting kicked off. Babe, you all are. The charter's over.
Docking. Yes. Like, we're here. Did you not hear the anchor just hit the bottom of the ocean? Like, we're done. Call it quits. Yeah, he was just yelling. I think we got is it Aisha is her name, or is it Asia?
Asia, right? Or
I think it's Aisha.
Okay, Aisha.
Yeah, I think it's Aisha. Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah, they're going through a lot on the boat, but Brandon is definitely in his you look at you, you're so sloppy, you're being so rude, and that's why they're sending you home. And this is the end of our trip. It's time for you to all to depart the boat.
I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with all of it. And then we move forward with our bosun, who I think is what is the LVP, right? Least valuable player. And emphasis on least and least emphasis on player. Because what the hell is Luke doing? From start to finish, I don't understand him.
Yeah, Luke is supposed to be in charge to an extent, and he's not doing anything. Luke is just kind of chilling, and it's really messed up because they're already down a person, and Captain Jason's looking over there like, Luke, I need you to start doing your job. Sasha, I know you mentioned last time that somebody is going to get fired, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be Luke, but I think that he's making a good argument for why he should be the one to leave the ship.
Yeah. Agreed. And it's just, I wish he would go, but I do think that it's going to be Adam that's going to be fired.
Yeah. We'll talk about Adam, I guess, with his Adam, there's a lot of stuff wrong with Adam. There's just a ton but honestly, Luke is not doing much better either. I mean, the best thing we could say about Luke is that he's not seasick. So that's probably a plus. But I mean, all of this stuff, the problems of night one are definitely Luke's fault.
Agreed. And we get into it. So Luke gets yelled at, but then the captain is like, listen, chill out. Like, it's okay. Warning number 1 kind of deal. Then says, here's all the stuff you need to do for the day. Make sure you get the ladder in. And get the ladder in. Guess what? Not only do they not get the ladder in, they lose it at sea.
Yeah. It just rips off. They leave the boat, the ladder hanging off the side of the boat. The water just is rushing and it just go flying out into the ocean. And now it's just gone. And what they do is they just grab a different ladder and try to attach it. That was so stupid looking to me. I was like, what are you doing? This is incredible. Y'all are professionals.
Professionals that can't swim. I'll never let that go on account that I can't swim. But either way, it makes no sense because, again, Luke just goes, sorry, mate. Like, yeah, that sucks. My bad. I took an L on that. No! Like, it makes no sense because, and Rusty in the chat is right. Like, I feel that it also, what is the cost of this damage? What is the cost of this thing getting ripped off? Because it can't just be like it's a 5-second thing.
Yeah, it rips off it wasn't just like it's not plastic, right? It looked like the metal bearing thing that was hanging onto it, it just ripped it apart. So now they have to order a new one. I'm sure you have to pay to get that soldered on and all kinds of stuff. And it's a really old boat. Not to pick on old technology, but a lot of times it's hard to replace stuff like that for older stuff because they don't make that kind of whatever anymore. So this could definitely be a problem, but they completely overlook it. They're just like, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We can just order another one. Like, are you sure?
I just couldn't believe that now 2 deckhands are off the boat because they have
Yeah.
to now go look for something in the Great Barrier Reef where
Mhm.
corals are already being damaged by humans, and now you have a stray ladder.
Nope. They're just gonna they're like, oh, charge it to the game. It's out there. Pretty soon there'll be diamonds out there too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
here we are. Kim Kardashians. I love it. But anyway, I can't stop laughing at how horrible the deck team can be. And then we also have a moment where they, Adam and Harry are like fighting, right? Because now it's charter because we'll just get to all the deckhand stuff together. So
Mhm.
then now that we have finally docked the boat, because nothing else really happens besides the food stuff. But anyway, we're docking the boat, and Adam is micromanaging as a as the like third deckhand or fourth
Mhm.
even.
I think he's last. I think he's the last. He's the lowest on the rung of deckhands, and he's trying to tell Harry what to do. And Harry is getting offended because he's like, "Adam, I get that like the book side of
Books,
this, like
yeah.
you've read the things, but you don't have as much experience as him, and you're not doing that great either." That's what I'm saying. Adam, you were just talking about it. He might be the one we lose in the future. I'm not sure who it is, but he's not making a great case for himself.
Yeah, he's moving reckless, right? And then his whole and this like ends the deckhand situation, the work situation, let me say, because then we also have Adam being like on the board writing his little like diagrams. I mean, like, which boat should you pass first? Tell me, Luke, like as a gotcha moment, like can you imagine doing that to your boss, right? Like that kind of confidence. I wish I could live my life.
He's like, I was in the military and I read about this and I remembered all this stuff. It's like, but you forgot to get the glass off the teak. Is that what it's called? Like, sir,
Mhm.
that's probably a bigger issue. That's the issue you should be worried about. That it's starting to look like he's
Correct.
using his knowledge of like the rules and regulations or whatever to kind of cover up for the fact that he's actually not good at his job. And he can probably hide it until people start getting hurt and until ladders start flying off the side of boats. Eventually, it's going to catch up with him.
100%. And of course, when Adam does the damn night shift or the anchor watch, I can't believe he goes to bed before anyone else, but it's fine. I guess that's how this boat is going to do. And he just doesn't clean the main guest areas. Make it
hmm
make sense, everyone. Because, of course, someone gets hurt because of it. Oh my God, they're all bothering me so much. Like, they bless their hearts. So that is our deck crew incompetence, which does not stop here, but we're going to stop for now. Then, after all of that, we do have now a Laura versus, I believe her name is Asia because it's like eight, I don't know, because they have an accent.
Yeah, it's either Aisha or Aisha. It's in there. Listen, I'm gonna go watch it again, and I'm gonna come back with the correct pronunciation next time.
Yes,
I'll slow it
same.
down. Yeah, ask Siri, all that good stuff.
100%. So we will be back to make sure. But either way, all of this to say, now we have the Aisha and Laura struggle and showdown, which is just gonna be the start of all of this. So now we get the first one, the can dance. Okay, it's the Moulin Rouge night for these ridiculous guests. And Chappelle, did you think this lady would take as long as Laura, I mean, as long to get ready? Because Asia said, hey, it's a can dance you've seen before, right? Like we've seen much crazier, the crew do much crazier stuff. And how can it take you 30 minutes during a dinner service?
So the can dance was interesting to me anyway because I was still trying to figure out, do they just keep can dresses on deck? Like, is this just something they
No,
have,
no.
or did they order them and then they have to order another one in such a short time frame? Like the turnaround was incredible. And then you have Laura, who we will see took a long time to get dressed this time, but can take even longer in the future. I guess I could be upset with her a little bit about how long she took for the can dance, but she was the entire dance. Once she starts, she is the main attraction at that
Mhm.
point because she's like, I think she's the only one who can actually do a can.
Yeah.
And
Well,
everybody else
she's
just
a
joins in.
dancer. Yeah.
Yeah, she's
I
a
don't know
lot
why I did
though.
that. That's rude.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's a dancer. I guess we'll say it like that. But
Correct.
yeah. If anybody was gonna make this can happen, it was her. So they were just at her mercy.
Yeah, and this is a known thing, and I'm sure chat will know as well. But this is a known thing where Asia with her stews is a problem. She just can't figure out how to correctly have a conversation with them and how to really go be stern. I think that's the best way to say it. And I didn't understand why it was okay for Laura to take that long. And I want her to push back more and be like, girl, get your stuff together. But it doesn't happen, unfortunately. It is what it is. This comes up later. Should we talk about the second dinner? No, I'm going too out of place. I'll wait because there is some like fun tea that Asia spilled about Laura on Watch What Happens Live, but I'll save it. So that happens. But anyway, can dancers are fine. Next, we have a new stew.
Yeah. This
How
is
do
Margot,
we feel? Yes.
right? I like Margot. I think that she seems nice. I'm assuming this is going to be one of the people we're pushing these love triangles on.
Yes.
But she seemed like a relatively, stable human. I'm sure that might change later on once being on a boat with these crazy people. But right now, she seems fine.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, Sasha, I'm sorry. Elizabeth Berry, who I love Elizabeth Berry. She's in that chat saying that the can wasn't cannon all the way. Yeah, I was like, look, I don't know that much about the can, but you're supposed to have these kicks up there. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to kick. You're supposed to show off your little your under stuff. And so she was just out there kind of. She was just out there kind of playing. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't think, for how big the boat is, I don't think there was a lot of room necessarily for her to maybe can all the way. I don't know. I couldn't help but laugh at this whole situation. Embarrassing, but here we are. Okay. And it's fine. It is what it is. She has now moved on. She's still, I think, being shady, right, with Aisha, and all of it is getting really weird. I'm not here for it. But Margot said she's only been working in yacht industry 6 months. So I think that's going to be a point of contention. Then secondly, she says, she left a job at Amazon to come in yachting. And her laugh chief stew was so strict that she's afraid to like voice her opinions about everything. So Aisha couldn't have two more polar opposite stews.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I get it. I can imagine watching someone yachting or this show Below Deck and thinking, yeah, I don't want to work for Amazon anymore. I definitely don't want to do that. I want to travel. I want to see the world and do luxurious things. And yeah, I gotta wait on people eventually. But I mean, when do you get this kind of atmosphere to work in? And you can get to meet all these cool people. You get to party a lot. So I don't blame her. But yeah, this is her first time, and so she's got a lot to learn. And you see him throughout the episode, kind of taking her through different things that she doesn't know. I think she was the one who messed up the place setting, right?
Yes, for the next charter. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just things like that, growing pains, I guess, for Margot.
And then our last employee here. How do we feel about chef's food for Moulin Rouge?
Okay, so I always like to talk about
exactly.
Yeah. So I think for Moulin Rouge, that wasn't when they had the eggs Benedict. That was the next day when they had the breakfast.
That's the next day.
What did they have for the Moulin
They had
Rouge?
the duck. Yeah, the overcooked duck and the brownie cake.
Okay, so that cake, I get it. Like, okay, I get it, but that's not my cup of tea. It didn't look like it was doing what it needed to do. Just to say it like that. It didn't look appealing visually either. Like I wouldn't see that.
Exactly.
And it looked like mush, and that's a nice way of putting it,
Agree. And Michael in the chat says bowl of brownie. I feel that you're being generous, Michael.
Yeah. I was like, I'm sure it tasted good. I mean, it looked like it tasted good, but it just looked like a bowl of shit. I mean, I like the doo doo, but like like a
Yeah,
little
it didn't look good. And listen, I'm first to say Indian food, my favorite food, does not picture well. But
Mm,
even then, I think there's a way, right, to make it work. Elizabeth Berry does say, I'll eat anything with that much chocolate. I mean, wait, there's no lie, but it didn't look mushy, right? Like, I feel
mm.
that a brownie and with ice cream, especially, you're supposed to be able to, the scoopability was zero.
Right, right. It did look like it was raw almost. And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's what they were going for or not, but even Captain Jason had some critiques
Oof.
about the food. And I, to Zarina's credit, she knew. She knew as well. She's very hard on herself, but she understood that there were some things that might have been lacking in the dinner presentation that night.
Yeah, 100%. And I felt that they had a really beautiful conversation. Again, um, Captain Jason did not realize until very end of the season last time how horrible Chef Ryan was. So
Oh.
this I think is like he talks about this on Watch What Happens Live that he said I wish folks would have came and told me because it's not snitching if this guy really sucked. So I'm assuming he's like trying really hard to really be in the mix this time with the chef. But I think the chef is great. It's just the galley sucks and it's the first charter. And I think third, she just needs to get out of her head a little bit. But it is what it is. I think the guests liked it, and that's all that matters. Captain, not so much, but it's
Yeah.
fine. Oof. So then all of it is going on, and they finally end up going to bed. The next morning goes fine. I loved the little feuds. Does this happen this time? No, that's the next week too.
No,
Sorry.
yeah, they had the little quail eggs this
Did they
time,
have
right?
it this time? Yeah,
Yeah.
the little mini pancakes and stuff. I'm obsessed. I love little foods.
Yeah, no, this
So,
stuff looked good. I was like, okay, this is more my speed than that last stuff.
agreed. So it was all really cute. We're now saying bye to the primary. Of course, the primary was woken up with Captain Jason. Chat. I don't know about you, but that would be the dream.
Oh yeah, getting woken up by. Yes, don't you think this is a little low for the captain though? Like they basically pimping their captain out to all these guests.
And what? Who else would they? No offense. I'm not necessarily talking about like the looks, but I think if we were to go on all the looks, Captain Jason is number one. But the others are very close behind. It's not like there are any like really not good looking people here.
Okay, so still hope for Captain Glenn.
Yeah.
Captain
Yeah.
Glenn, put the rose. Give him the rose. He can do it.
I think Captain Glenn bringing me a roast would be funnier than Captain Jason because Captain Jason, I think I would feel like, oh my God, I'm, embarrassed. Like he's actually cute. Because, and my husband pointed this out, but he said, this lady is mesmerized every time she looks at Captain. So I went back and saw it, and it's true. Like when she sees Captain, she just goes into a literal haze, I feel. And Michelle says this in the chat, but swoon and correct. Where is the lie? But Maximus, mom, I don't appreciate you. She's after sushi, Gary, I'll take it. I didn't need that. Okay, please don't do this to me. But it's fine. We get Captain Cutie. It's time for Carmen and her friends to go. Bye-bye. And I'm over it, Chappell. They gotta go.
I was ready for these people to go. I hate when it's the black folk. I'm like, why y'all get y'all black asses on here acting like this? It's like, come on, man. You like, come on. Y'all got a little
After
money.
y'all
and
on Twitter yesterday, I don't know.
We don't know how to act sometimes. I'm like, come on, man. I was looking at it and I say, it's okay. We can have nice things. We can show our ass sometimes.
Exactly.
We can be flawed, but
and
that
they're
don't mean
rich.
I gotta be rooting for it. Yeah, they got the money, so they can do it. Now, for people with money, they also didn't tip that great. And so again, I'm looking at my folks like, what are you doing?
This is where I would fight the Indians, right? Because I was like, don't embarrass me that you're leaving. You're going to act a fool, which they did just 2 seasons ago now. And you left a horrible tip. So we get the first tip meeting. It was 17,500.
Right, which was what, like 1,500 a person or something like that?
Yeah.
We've seen way better. We've seen better.
For a motor yacht, and a full 2-day charter with Crystal and Brandon going overboard.
Yeah. Like the least y'all could do, the champagne at your bedside. The captain of the boat waking you up with a flower in your mouth. You could have done better than $1,500, but okay.
Yeah, I think that they should have been on 20,000. I think
Yeah,
that would have been a fair tip.
I think so. Yeah, especially the way y'all fought the whole time. That's just stressful in general dealing with all the people on the boat. These people showed they black asses
Exactly.
and other asses as well.
Listen, it wasn't just that.
It
Brandon was
wasn't
in
just
it too.
I just hold my people accountable. Just like I got to. Somebody got
Unfortunately,
to.
we do that. It's bad. But it's fine. It is what it is. And Margot ends up getting the full tip. Here we are. It's okay. Fair is fair, I guess. And all of it to lead to something I didn't tell you ahead of time because I needed your full reaction. The disco helmet is back.
I was shocked by this because at first I thought
Yes.
this was a good thing. I was like, "Oh, you get a disco helmet because you were like the MVP
The
of the
shining
night."
star.
No, absolutely not. This is a shame tactic, and I actually kind of like it. It's like
Yeah.
it's embarrassing, but it's not like super. It doesn't feel like they're shaming you in a way that will hurt your feelings. But it's definitely like, hey, here's this helmet that you can wear as a reminder that you were an idiot last time. And I think the right person got the helmet.
Oh, 1,000% the right person. That's the only person that should have got the helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe Laura for being late, but I think she gets the job done, and the table settings are really pretty too. So I don't think she gets it for right now. I agree. I think it's a you can do it better award, and you 1,000% can do better, Margot. But anyway, so we do get this disgusting moment, and this leads us into Luke being horrible, because then Luke goes, I want to be the first person, pardon my language, make sure no kids around, I want to be the first person to get my dick sucked in this.
Yeah, he wants to get his meat ate up with the helmet on. What's wrong with this man? I mean, don't get me wrong. It does sound like a good time. He said it, not me. I just repeated it. I think that was the direct quote. Trying to get gobbled with the helmet on. It's what he said.
No, I don't. Okay.
I think that's not the direct quote. I have to run it back.
That's maybe anyway.
I'll watch it again.
Move on.
No, we'll watch it again. It's fine.
Anyway, but I'm tired, right? Like, what is up with these bosuns being literal trash?
It's got to be in the job description, right? Like when they go and hire these people, they're not looking for someone who does their job really well, who can just do, stay out of the way. They're looking for somebody who is going to, I won't say abuse their power, but there's definitely a power structure, a power dynamic that is being ignored here when you have someone's boss and someone pretty high up on the, in the org chart, trying to date these new stews all the time. And so we get more of the same.
Yeah, 100%. And you're right. And that's the below deck formula also. So I do think that it is part of said job description, at least for Bravo. I'll tell you that. And we do get now it's time to go out, everyone. And Zarania's 60 to 100K suitcase is here. Girl, you are a chef on a boat. And where are you going to wear all this expensive stuff?
I don't know. And then she doesn't even explain kind of why she has it. I guess she's just like, she likes to go out and do stuff. So I don't know. This feels like they're going to be hitting the same bar over and over again. Like they're going to have their stops that they always make. I guess she felt like if she got the money, she might as well flaunt it.
I like it. You do you, boo.
Yeah.
And of course, her stuff isn't here yet. So she says, I'm going to wear a simple tracksuit, and which is fine. And then, okay, this is going to be mean, and I am sorry, but Laura takes an hour and a half extra than everyone else to get ready.
Yeah. I try not to comment on the speed women take to get ready. I just
you shouldn't. Yes, correct.
But then at the same time, something like this, they were waiting all day for this woman. And then she looked fine. She didn't like
an hour and a half for that. Laura, I think you're beautiful. I don't think you need to take an hour and a half if that's the end. And I know I'm not acknowledging that as mean, okay? But please. And I support women's rights and wrongs, so it's okay. But I just feel like when I saw the dress, I was like, you're going to a club.
Yeah. She didn't do nothing. I'm sorry. She was up there. I'll say it. She was in there too damn long to come down looking mid. And I'm not saying she looked mid like she's like less like the woman's pretty.
She's
So
pretty.
like
Yeah, the
she didn't have to
outfit.
do
The
much
outfit.
anyway,
Exactly.
right? But like to come down is like you know, like those old sitcoms where somebody comes down and says like woo, and they look like trash. It's like, oh yeah, it's like, oh okay, you tried. You know, so that's was like, Lord, you come on, you not that long. It don't take that long.
No, that was horrendous. Again, I think I would have been left if it were all of you.
Oh yeah,
like if all,
yeah, that's
yeah, I think you would have left me and been like, we'll meet you.
We'll see you there. It's fine. We'll send the Uber.
Oh my god, it's okay. They almost did leave me, y'all, but it's okay. They didn't.
I almost got left too. It's fine.
Okay, that's correct. Yeah. So then, of course, we get a lot of now flirting. It's a lot of mess. Luke is like, game on, blah, blah, blah. But I have to know, will Asia be giving... I keep calling her because I've called her for like since below med, but it's fine. Okay, whatever.
We'll do the research.
Aisha. Yeah, they also have an accent, which is what I think I'm not sure about. Anyway, Aisha, she gives like sex ed educations because we didn't talk about it last time with Rob, but when she ripped her skirt, she did say my labia is out, and then she said it again in the cab. So I was like, I think she's doing more for women and for men to understand women's bodies.
And she needs to because Harry doesn't.
He didn't know. He's like, what is that?
And I'm just like, oh man. man. Okay, the kid's what, like 24 maybe?
Yeah, he said he was young.
He is young, but at the same time, at some point you got to learn what the body parts is called. You can't be that interested in them if you can't name them. I'm just saying. Why is this woman? And that's embarrassing. You setting us back, Harry. That makes us all look bad. You have to you hold that L on your own.
Yeah, just shut up. Just
why would you admit that out loud?
You're on TV.
People see you.
He said, "No toxic masculinity here. I want to learn." Harry, stop. Harry, stop.
That's not the only way he wants to learn because he's out here being thirsty too.
Correct. So now we have the grand setup. It's Margot is the prize that Luke and Harry both want. Again, these bosuns, they just can't help it, I guess. And again, Elizabeth, you're right. Male bosuns, mostly. Malia was interesting, but didn't hook up with anyone. I'll just say that. So it's time. And this is when Harry is like flirting, ? With Margot, and he says miss, and he thinks that is flirty.
I think Luke described him as looking at like a Dalmatian on ice skates or something because he's so goofy moving, you know, and he's not smooth at all. And Luke knows, like he knows. He saw Harry over there trying to make his move, Margot, and thought, this is a piece of cake. I got this. Like this man, he about to dirty Mac his way past Harry so quickly, and he does. Maybe again, Harry's younger, so maybe that's another reason. Maybe he's not as experienced in, like trying to do this. Trying to battle it out with somebody for somebody's attention. But he's definitely losing. He looks like a fool this time, and I'm like, I'm kind of rooting for him because Luke's an asshole. But at the same time, like if you didn't come to fight, then you should have stayed out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't ready.
My God. Right. And Michael asked this in the chat too, and I agree. Like because Margot then goes, "Is Harry gay?" I thought he was gay. Oh no.
That's the nail in the coffin. I don't think you can come back from that. Like I don't think that's like a first impression that's hard to shake off.
And again, there's nothing like wrong with being gay. It's more that I think Harry thought he was like this like a really good player. He was like, look at me. Me saying miss is what is gonna get the pants down. Like I'm gonna be it. And then instead she's like, oh, I thought he was gay. That's why he's talking to me like that.
Yeah. And now we start the pattern of every time they interact, he's going to think that he's really making a move on her, and she's going to be like looking over his shoulder at someone else.
He's so tall. Okay. Oh, that's another thing. As a fellow tall man, I did think of you when that happened because he said he's 6'5", but he lies because 6'5" this too much. So he has to say he's 6'4" because 6'3" is not tall enough.
Well, how do you feel, Sasha? If someone tells you they're 6'5", is that where you're like, whoa, that's my limit? Or you think 6'4" will be fine?
I think I give off really tall energy, so I don't mind tall men. Because I remember before folks meet me, they're like, "Oh yeah, you're like tall," and I was like, "No, I'm 5 foot."
Yeah.
So, big head. Maybe that's why they all see it only as the head. But yeah, so I don't mind. I don't think 6'5" is tall, but like I bet you I look like a clown next to a 6'5" human being. But
A
it
literal
is what
child.
it is. Okay, whatever. But yeah, I think 6'5" is the cutoff though. He's not wrong in that.
So if he says like 6'6", you're like, all right, you go with a
No, then
giraffe.
I was like, you leave them for the tall girls. It's not fair.
Right. Hey,
But I
that's
think
that's real.
yeah, but I think 6'3" is like, okay, that's interesting because everyone almost at this time is lying about being 6 foot. So I think once you're
Mm,
past 6'1", then you don't lie anymore about your height, I feel.
that's true because I don't have to. But the thing is, no
Yeah,
one
yeah,
believes me
yeah.
either in anyway until they meet me, and then they're like, oh my god, where did that come from?
That's
Like,
true.
yeah,
It's
like
true.
I've been telling y'all, I don't know what you wanted me to say. But yeah, this
Listen,
person,
tall boys are great. They take great pictures, tripod arms,
yeah, oh yeah, I'm the selfie stick,
basis of our friendship. Yes.
For sure. But I would never stand close to anybody as tall as Harry. I don't trust anybody who's taller than me.
Well, I wish I could say that, but yeah.
I just
Um,
can't.
I don't trust anyone shorter than me. You know what? Yeah, maybe we
I'm just
are
saying, yeah,
prejudiced. You're
yeah,
right.
and that's okay.
Yeah, it's heightist.
Yeah, they'll
It
be
is
okay.
what it is. Here we are. But anyway, so Harry just has all of these things, and I can't wait till he gets on a reunion or a Watch What Happens live to just like eat all of his words, like Chase, because
Well,
he's embarrassing.
I don't know. Chase came back on the reunion and he was a whole different person. So I don't know. Maybe Harry goes and we find out once the season was over, he's super suave and him and Asia thing. Who knows? Who knows anymore?
No,
I don't trust
she has
anybody.
a long term boyfriend.
Yeah, but that be happening, right?
Oh.
Just saying. We've seen things on Below Deck.
And in life, yeah,
And
it
in life.
happens. Boyfriends break up. It is what it is. You're not married. No, I'm just kidding. No, her and her man like used or live in a not anymore, I think, but used to at least live in a what is it? A caravan. Like that's their home.
Oh yeah,
So
and
I
they're
think
about to buy
that's
a house, right?
love. Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
real love. If
Oh
you
yeah.
are willing to stay in close quarters with someone.
Yeah, you were with them
That
during the
much close
struggle
quarters.
times. Yeah, if you were with them during the hard times, then once you start making that below deck money, then I think you're gonna last at that point.
And then there's a lot of dancing. And Luke
Mhm.
says, "Hey, close your eyes." No, first he said, "Close."
You have like
first,
something an eyelash or
first he
something.
says, "Can we kiss?" She says, "No." He says,
Mhm.
"Oh, really?" That's no, but like no one said no to him, I guess. And then he goes, "Okay, I think you have an eyelash. You should close your eyes." Sorry, how did no one catch this? That this was gonna happen? Because I knew what this meant. Because I've been in that situation and I've ran. I've been like, "Oh no, thank you."
Sasha, I think we all knew what this was, and I kind of
Yes.
a tiny bit think Margot knew what this was too. I do believe her that she said
Oh.
she was surprised, but she was like, "I'm surprised. I'm not mad about it, but I'm definitely surprised."
Mhm.
And he's like, "Apologize." She's like, "Don't apologize." Like, oh, okay, Margot, are you really that surprised, or are you just like
Well, women
fake
do that,
surprised?
right? When they're in these situations to like
Hmm.
they have to be like,
Like, who
don't
me?
hit me."
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I totally wanted it.
yeah.
So
Maybe she didn't. Yeah.
yeah, but I think you're right. I just want to say in that moment something was weird.
Hmm.
I think I'll say that. But yeah, he's going to allegedly get an eyelash and just kisses her. That is so creepy.
Yeah, that's an old school, like, like one of those like
Have you done that?
prehistoric. Dear God, no. What? Uh, what? I look, she likes confidence. I have never you will never see me that confident to where I'm just like, whatever, I'll try it. Like, no, 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 no. I got to have some type of like definitive sign before you're not going, first of all, you're not gonna embarrass me on TV. That's number one.
Also, that too.
Yeah,
Yes.
number one. Imagine had he done it, she would like slapped him and be like, you creep, and then like
I think
it
I
just
would have.
yeah, see, that's better than TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Prostitution, horse. Boom. Yeah.
Flip the table. Yeah. But no, I think that's what I'm saying. Like it could have gone really, really poorly. And so for you to not have a definitive sign, I don't know. It's definitely a risk to take, and I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, and I love this from John because John says Luke is the kind of guy that can read body language but stampedes through it and makes the move anyway. The worst vibes. John, I think this is Luke's tagline because
Yeah, the
truer
worst
words
vibes.
have not been spoken.
Yeah, it's like he saw like a yellow light and thought, okay, I could
Barely yellow,
there's some
yeah.
caution here. I should slow down, but say like, but it's not red. And so he just went straight through straight through the light. It's like, no. Maybe in that moment you tell her like, hey, I'd like to kiss you or something like that. You don't just go and do it because then, consent's real, bro. And and you look like a fool if this doesn't work out. You look like a fool both ways, honestly. Like the moment a lot of people probably flinched when that happened. Whoa, what was
I
that?
did. I
Yeah.
screamed. I was like, this, and I cursed a lot because I was like, it's disrespectful. And we've heard from Margot, right, over and over again that, hey, this is a person that does not really have a backbone, I think is what she said. Basically, she's like, I have a hard time standing up for myself. I'm from Wisconsin. I'm really nice. Like, I don't, like to be disrespectful. And then this man goes and kisses her without her consent.
Yeah.
Throat chop.
It's like she's convinced herself that this is okay. It's like you don't have to live like this, man. Because she even says, I don't think she's like, oh, I don't really have a type. Like I've dated assholes. I've dated. No, actually, I've never dated anybody nice. Actually, that's not really a thing that I do. I was like, it sounds like you do have a type.
Maybe. Yeah, oh my God. What is up with that? I will never understand people that like jerks. Maybe because I'm the jerk in the relationship. So I guess why do people like me? But I've only dated nice guys. Like you could never catch me dating someone that isn't nice. Like that's so weird.
Yeah, these people find themselves, I guess that you, like you said, you convince yourself through whatever trauma
you think that's true. That's true.
And then here you are making excuses for Luke. Of all people, really, Luke? Okay.
No. But then we get to the next episode, right? And we're all fired up. We're like, yeah, let's fight for Margot. It's time. And Margot goes, I liked it, question mark. Right. And then they like kind of kissing or pecking at least on and off. And then they're about to start the hot tub, the world's most ratchet hot tub, because they have to fill it up with the hose. Sorry, what? You spend all this money to refurbish this and you couldn't figure out a normal hot tub?
They weren't going to spend money on that. I mean, look at the kitchen. The galley sucks. There are other problems with this.
That's true. That's true.
Probably supersede the hot tub on the list of priorities. But yeah, and then it's kind of like having to fill the hot tub almost killed the mood. It's like, okay, we got
yes.
Trying to fill it. Anybody want to get in? Actually, I think I'm gonna go to bed now. I'm not really feeling it.
Do you think that production is now every time they're out, production's gonna be like, fill the hot tub right now?
Pre-fill the hot tub. There's no reason why you let a bunch of drunk people who are kissing on each other come back to the boat and then they got, oh wait, now we got to spend the next hour filling the hot tub. Like, no, it won't happen again.
And how long until a drunk leaves the water running and it overflows?
Yeah, it's not so much like filling the hot tub, it's how you fill the hot tub, right? Like,
yes.
That's the issue. And so yeah, somebody's gonna leave it like it will overflow at some point, or someone's gonna get into it when it's empty. This just doesn't seem like this just doesn't seem like it's gonna work out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and gotta go pack. You're right. I agree. They said they always drain, clean, and fill the hot tub. Agreed. I've just never seen them do it with the hose, like where it's so far away. But maybe I have amnesia. I don't know. But yeah, I always felt like it was closer than what it was. Either way, I think production's gonna step in here because the bag fumbled. Okay. Because of all of this. But then while that's happening, Luke and Margot are kind of kissing. But I swear to God, Margot keeps like pulling away, but then she's back in it. I don't know. It's weird. We do get a shady confessional from Luke dissing Harry, saying nice guys finish last.
Yeah, and Harry kind of says the same thing. Like, yeah, normally nice guys finish last in a lot of ways, but he doesn't intend on it. And he's wearing that nice guy badge as a badge of honor because
as he should. Yes.
Well, here's the thing. This is the classic case of the dude who was young and nice, and he got his feelings hurt, and now he's like, he's on the road to incel, to incelville. And I'm not saying he's there now, but this is a slippery slope where you're like, my feelings were hurt by this woman. She was awful to me when I was 19, and now I haven't had a relationship. He hasn't had a relationship in 5 years because he got cheated on when he was 19.
This is his canon event. We can't step in it, y'all.
His villain origin story is right in front of us, and y'all are just not going to acknowledge it. Okay, I'm gonna call it out though. I'm just saying it starts here, and now when Margot goes and picks the jerk over him, and then he just starts to spiral a little bit longer. He's never going to think, how can I improve? What, maybe I can do something different. Maybe wearing these Australian panty draws out, and the pink ones ain't really doing it for the ladies like I thought they were, But he's not going to think that. He's going to think women is evil, and he's never going to look back. I'm telling you, if we don't stop this now, we might have a monster on our hands.
But why do women have to take the hit for this? Again, right? Because
that's the nice guy thing. I'm a nice guy, right? So if something bad happened to me, it couldn't have been me because I'm nice. So who was it? Who was the problem? He's not.
Look, stop calling women miss. What is wrong with you? God. Oh my God.
I'm just telling you, look, like I said, I think he's cool right now, but we could be going down the wrong path here. We might want to reel him back in.
You should get, therapist come in. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is my expertise. Yeah.
Yeah, all them. Is it menaced? I don't think I've ever said it out loud. The opposite of feminist.
It is menaced. Yeah, I am a menace. but no, I think but I will have him in the wrong direction, right? Like he's like in nice guy territory, but he's leaning so kind of toward like, okay.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't go in because then he'd be like, a woman told me to do this.
Yeah. I will have him in F boy territory. He'll be different.
Unfortunately,
like, the next season will be like where does he get off? So I think he's all right now, but we got to keep a watch on him.
Yeah. Listen, Harry watch activated. All right.
Sasha, it started in this episode. Listen, when we know the next day when they wake up for breakfast, right?
Exactly.
They're like drinking coffee, and him and Margot are like, oh, is this our ritual? He's like, yeah, this can be our thing. And I know in his head he's thinking, like, look at me, I'm in there, like I got it, we got a thing.
He's giving Bergie from Love Island,
right? But then when he leaves the room, she's kissing Luke at their thing at the coffee. How's your thing? We drink coffee together, and her thing with the other guys that they kiss together. So you're losing.
Yeah, I think you got it right. Like women, you really can't have it all.
Harry watch starts now.
Harry watch 2K23.
Right. I'm just saying we gotta pay attention to this kind of thing because then everybody be shocked later on. Like, why is he acting like this? Like, really? You didn't see the signs?
So do Harrys become Garys? That's what you're telling me.
Sometimes they do, sometimes they do. And that's the worst case scenario here,
Not us sitting here analyzing this.
That's what they pay us to do. That's what Rob left us in charge.
Correct. Okay. And Margot, of course, confesses to Zarania that, listen, she has a crush on Luke, and it may already. So I think it's RHAPs for Harry. And on Watch What Happens Live, Asia did say that she thought Luke was aggressive, but I didn't feel like she almost was like, but Luke sucks. So I do think something's going to happen here that, makes it sound like he's not like currently not a low down dirty dog. But I believe Laura is going to come into this triangle at least. I believe that's what we saw the kisses, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I'll be interested to see what happens with her too, because she's just hanging out right now, and she's got some issues, but I could see her getting in the mix.
Yeah, and then of course Marg also tells Aisha that she thinks Luke's aggressive and too much right now. Here's the thing: if person I supervise came in and told me this person's aggressive, it would be a immediate conversation.
Shut it down. But that's the thing. She's like, he's aggressive, but I don't know if I like it a little bit. Like, okay. All right. Okay. But
yeah, I think I would be boss, like, I'm your boss.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't go to your boss like she's your homegirl, and then because you're gonna mess around and get this dude fired.
Exactly. So let's see. Okay. And then of course we have a bunch of moments here and now. maybe everyone's like new favorite deckhand, but also a hot mess. We have the CEO's arrival. Okay, the chief entertainment officer is here. Everyone, Culver Bradbury is back, baby.
Yeah. So what's the story with Culver? Because I see they brought him back. They obviously needed the help. They've been trying to get some more hands on deck, literally, for a couple episodes now. And he seems like he knows what he's doing. Do we got a lot of backstory on him?
Yes, Culver lived up to his name last season as chief entertainment officer. And chat like fill in whatever I miss, but basically he's always been good with the flow, like really nice. I really liked him. He's enjoyable TV. He's very much down for anything when it comes to the guests, but he can get carried away with that. So we got a few snippets as well, right, of Jason talking to him last season saying, hey, you need to chill out on the drinking, because basically you're not allowed to drink when guests are on board. But if you're in his role, right, as like kind of being the party starter, it's okay maybe to have one drink. You just have to make sure Captain Jason is okay with it. But after that, they're basic, like you can do it. So Culver kind of got a little bit, I want to say like too loosey goosey, and would just like a little bit drink with the guests. And then he would, once he's drinking with the guests, he also, I think, ends up getting like lackadaisical with his work. So it's not that he was bad. It's just, I think he gets too involved being the chief entertainment officer and not so much the deckhand. I think that's the TLDR.
Relatable content there, but it did feel like things were running smoother with him there for sure.
Yeah, because he's good at his job. It's just he got like super lax and, yeah, like Rusty said, hammered at a guest event. It is what it is. Okay, so I think it's gonna be exciting. With him, I don't know what the drama would be. Yeah, I love this. Gotta go Pack said, well, he's drunk. How is he gonna do Anchor Watch drunk? Yeah, I think that was a big thing last season, right? Or am I forgetting? But oh yes, and he did make out with the primary. Correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. Yeah. But this was like after, right? I think they like met up with him after, like when they go out, they met up with him, which I think I would do that.
Yeah, but it would need to be after, because otherwise I'm looking at Captain Jason. Like, what are you doing? Why are you hiring this man again? What's the problem?
Oh, was this Below Deck Med, y'all, with Kyle? He was a Stu, like the second Stu. Yeah, I think that was Med. Yeah. With Natasha. So anyway, he ends up like mega crushing on a guest. And not only that, but they end up like quote unquote being like, oh, I think this is the guy I'm gonna marry. And they meet up multiple times after. But it didn't go anywhere. Sorry. But yes, Elizabeth, I was waiting for this story. So now it's time. So now that we've introduced Culver, we do have some fun tea on the primary who hooked up with. So Jordy, Elizabeth's boyfriend went to college with Jordy. And turns out everything about her checks out.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. And she likes to have fun. So it's very funny, all of that. And yeah, John in the chat says like Culver's a Peter Pan. Yeah, I can see that too. Listen, nothing wrong with being a frat boy. You are listening to a podcast with a frat boy, and a sorority girl. Okay, it is what it is. But yeah, so that is your introduction to Culver. But again, he's pretty chill. Like, I think he did really well with the docking as well. He, I think, got Adam a little bit in check, because I was so lost at that docking. So I felt like Culver again, when they were taking all the anchor and the ropes back, Culver was almost like letting everyone have their moment while he did the work. So yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, and Adam thinks he knows everything, and even if Adam is correct, he just comes on so strong about everything. It's like, sir, this is not like he was in the military. We get it, but this ain't that. This is a yacht. We're here to have a good time, but it's also not the end of the world when things don't go exactly your way. I mean, y'all have made bigger mistakes in the last 2 episodes than what's going on right here, especially because you're about to let a guest get their foot sliced open by a piece of glass, so you really should calm down.
1000%. Okay. And then we have the second preference sheet meeting of the season, of course. The head of department, all of them are introduced to the primary, Jack Freeman. He's a luxury interior designer and coming aboard with a bunch of foodies. Your favorite thing is to be called a foodie, of course.
I hate it.
And they said they like a tasting menu for their first night, which I never understand what that means, but I really am not into food like that. And Sarania is very excited because she's like, they have very specific requests and I like it. I'm into it because then she knows where to go with it. And I think Aisha says, classic Sydney rich kids. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, they have such high taste and high, like they have, oh, I want this, I want that, all this other stuff. They want the tasting menu. Sasha, I hate a tasting menu. Honestly, I
don't even understand it.
It's like ordering a sampler, but like for the entire meal. I don't like. Here's an onion ring. Here's something else. Like it's like these little portions. I'd be hungry. I would like steak. I would like a bass. I'm sorry. I just these little pieces of
right.
I'm not a fan. But yeah, these kids got so much money and such good taste that they're starting to make some interesting choices as well. Do you put ice in your wine?
I don't drink wine, so no, but I know that I will not like be drinking ice in my wine. Like I'm not uncouth.
Yeah, it happens. People do it.
Yeah, personally, I've seen it in the sangria.
Yeah, it's just not for me. That's not my thing. I
give me shots.
I don't want to dilute my wine. I don't want to dilute my liquor.
Yeah, also that. That
part.
Wait, but as a Texan, you're not well, you can't have. No, it's vodka, right? Yeah. Tito's and water is not your thing.
I'll do liquor with water at best, but I will never put like soda in it or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't do that anymore. Yeah, like you've seen me at bars. I'll do whiskey water or something like that if I'm just like trying to pace myself. But I don't know. Yeah,
I didn't see that.
I'd be pacing myself. It's just just imagine if I didn't, right? So that's when I'm like in the ocean. But yeah, I think that it was a choice. And it did make them look at them kind of weird. Like, okay, y'all, this is fancy taste, but y'all are really putting a lot of ice in this rosé.
Yeah, and that is now the point of contention between our stews, because this is where I feel like Laura is doing the absolute most, because they're speaking of the tasting menu, it's time to sit, and Laura's like, hey, they like ice, let's put a bucket of ice on the table. I have to say, I am with Aisha here. I don't believe that you should have a big ass bucket of ice just straight up on the table, taking up all this space, and it's ugly. I don't think it's necessary. And gotta go pack. Yeah, ice in the red wine. That's just disgusting. I feel like I'm not here for it at all. Aren't the bottles chilled anyway? Like at least the white wine, I'm sure is chilled. So it's so ratchet. I don't understand it. And not only that, Laura, you like everything goes fine. The tasting menu is great, but Laura loves to use that as like a gotcha moment.
It does feel like she's trying to one up her. Like I'm more tapped into the luxurious stuff. I'm more, these are my people basically. Like I know what we like. It's like, okay,
is that what you take 30 minutes?
Bruh, now tell these people, find out what these people want ice and they if you know that this is what they like, why don't you go teach them to do better? A big bucket of ice on the table when you're throwing like it's a gourmet meal. That's silly.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know. At best, give them a separate glass of ice, and then they can do whatever they want with that.
Okay, that's smart. Yeah.
At best, but a bucket of ice, so them to just like scoop it into their. This is silly. That's silliness. I don't know. I get why she's saying like this is what they want, but at the same time, like that's not some huge gotcha that these people are a little bit more ratchet than they were letting on.
Correct. And then, y'all, this is where it gets crazy. Okay. So in Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked, hey, like, now that you saw how Lauren was acting, right? Because Lauren says, listen, I am used to something high class, but that's not Asia, right? So, Aisha, whatever. So she's, the jabs are jabbing constantly. Well, guess what? On Watch What Happens Live, Aisha goes, when the last time, right, she asked to react, she said, and I quote, I wanted to slap that stupid bitch.
Oh.
I
Oh.
screamed when she said that. And she said, no, but I'm just kidding, but not, because she was disrespectful and I wanted to reach through the screen and strangle her.
Okay, so we know they beefing in real life because there's no way
Yeah.
up and up in this friendship and you talking about them like that just based off of this interaction. Like, don't get me wrong, there was some slick, some dry hating going on in this moment, but at the same time, this was months ago. You knew it happened then. You watched it now, months later, and you're still like, yeah, she's a stupid bitch. Wow. Okay.
Exactly. And I agree, Gotta Go Pack, because Gotta Go Pack said we need that Aisha on the show. Yes. And she does agree, even on Watch What Happens Live, even her confessional, she's not as assertive as she should be, but she's trying and she feels like she did step in. So we'll see that, I guess, later on with Laura. And maybe you're right. Maybe it's Laura that gets fired.
Who knows? But yeah, Asia, she is one of those people who is like, I'm too nice. Da 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 da. You got Margot saying, I'm too nice. I don't really know how to speak up for myself. But these people, like these other people, they have no issue running over you. Adam and Laura, these people are just gonna do what they want to do. And if y'all can't stand up for yourselves, Luke, even y'all, if y'all can't stand up for yourselves, you're gonna get ran over this whole time. So for me to see this, in the after show, like, and Watch What Happens Live, I have to imagine that it gets worse from here.
100%. That's what I think. I think she's just going to be undermining her over and over again. And the worst thing is, and we've seen this on other below decks, is when they're going to do it in front of the guests. And say that this is horrible or whatever. Bring Toomey back. Toomey was the best stew ever, and I think she should be the chief stew. No, but actually, like, Aisha too. So like they should be co-chief stews. And I love it. So with all of that, we do get, again, Luke just not being on the ball in the morning, and of course a guest has now cut themselves. But no one made a big deal. No one radioed Aisha. Or no one had to, rather, I should say, radio her. She stepped in. They got it fixed. And Adam is in deep doo-doo. But of course, instead of like being like, yeah, my fault, he just kind of is like, great, let's have a test off. Shut up, dude. I'm tired of these people.
I won't say he's the worst, but he sucks. It's just like,
yeah,
just stop. Just you're doing a lot right now, and things that you're not doing are affecting everybody else. It's like, so kind of get your foot off everybody's neck. You're not in charge because you were in the military. We get it. You went in. You did your time. Thank you for your service. All that kind of stuff. But these people don't owe you anything. You don't get to talk to everybody crazy and just think because you've gotten so much experience in like they said, the book stuff, or that you've done so much, there's so many maritime classes and stuff like that you are in charge.
That you paid people off, you liar.
Right, that part. And so it's like, yeah, you haven't earned this type of entitlement that you acting like you have, and then you hurting the guests. I'm sorry, this. I get it. It's just a cut. But at the same time, that's the type of stuff that kind of like does put a little damper on your trip a little bit. You about to go jump into the ocean and now you got an open wound. Maybe that wouldn't be my favorite thing in the world.
This happened to me, but that was by my own stupidity. You know why am I going to the water when I can't swim? But when I went on my honeymoon in Tahiti, I cut my foot on a coral.
Oh yeah, I think you told me that.
Yeah. So, I'm an idiot. That's and guess what? I did it as I was getting into our deck. Like it was out in the world. It was literally, I was stepping on the ladder and I cut myself. And it really puts a damper on your trip because you're just like, the bottom of my foot is cut. But I can't. It's so frustrating. But it is what it is. I love Culver because Culver is like, relax. We're not going to war. This
No.
isn't the Navy.
And if it was, you would not be helping because you are getting people hurt.
Exactly. You're the reason we're pissed off. And now you're overcompensating, basically, I think is what's happening. So I'm tired of him, Chappelle. But let's see. It just, I wish Rob was here just to do the accent. Right.
Yeah, because I can't do it. I cannot do it.
And I will not try.
Yeah, but it's true. The accent, I think Michael in the chat says the accent combined with this attitude is just what's really not. It's not helping, you know.
Yeah.
It's not great, and I don't know. I think he's number one on my who's gonna get fired list.
Yeah, same. And I love that chat is like, yeah, it's like who done it? 1000%. It is that. So with that, and then Luke does apologize to Margot. We do get that moment, but then he almost like backtracked it, and he's like, "Oh, actually, I mean, I don't regret it." Blah blah. Shut up, Luke.
Yeah, he's like, I apologize. She's like, oh no, don't apologize. Like, I don't want you to feel like that. It's like, stop coddling him. I know you have to do things to save, you have to protect yourself. Yes. You cannot make enemies on this boat. Yes. But at the same time, you are reinforcing this thought in it, because immediately we see the confessional where he says, she loved it. She loved it. It's like, oh, well, I don't know, because she's saying one thing, she's acting a different way with us. It's like, I really want her to be more upfront with you, but I also know that there might be a situation where you can't, you're at work.
1000%. So we shall see, everyone, where all of this goes. On the next time on, we do see Laura's about to get into the mess as well. So we shall... I'm just stressed out, okay? Because I think that Laura's not going to back down. She's used to being independent, but Aisha said... she's used to being a chief stew. Well, she was a chief stew, and she was the only stew on the boat. So she should stop calling herself that. So I don't know where this is going or what's happening, but stay tuned. All right. And anything else about the episode, Chappelle?
Nope. We had a good time. We set the stage for a lot of drama coming up. And so I'm imagining what these next 2 episodes we'll be talking about next week are going to be like.
Yeah, can't wait. And with that, I just what I saw online wasn't too much. We did get a lot of like on Watch What Happens Live, like Captain Jason was just honestly being treated as a piece of meat, and it was like really uncomfortable. And they were doing this segment called Pillow Talk, and it was so uncomfortable because they kept asking, like, hey, when is the last time you lost your virginity? No, when was the time you lost your virginity? When did you get your first kiss? And, this man is like, he's a dad, right? Like, stop. Yeah. And then Andy goes, Asia, do you have a question for him? This is rated R, everyone. But she goes, when was the last time you finger banged someone? Answer that. God. And she goes, he just gives off finger banging vibes. Oh. And Andy is just like the whole time.
Yeah, this is your boss.
Yeah. I mean, he's not the producer, but like he's an exec at Bravo for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a very weird, like the whole thing.
About Captain Jason.
Oh, also that, but she says that's my brother. That's what she keeps saying. Well, we know what that is, but it's very weird. And also, when Jason was I'm just bringing it up because I was so uncomfortable that you guys all have to be uncomfortable with me now. But they asked Jason, what's a weird fact about Asia, or what's the most annoying thing she does? And he said her legs are always open and in the air.
He's like, look, I don't know how to tell you this, but as your boss, you need to close your legs. And
yes, I'm not, close your legs to married men. I'm just kidding.
I knew that was coming.
Oh my God. No, that's another show, everyone. It's a joke. And it's the funniest thing because gotta go pack. He is married. He is not married. That's the question. Is Jason married?
Yeah, he's not married.
No, he's single as a Pringle. And they were trying to hook him up. But again, with Countess Luann, I was like, Chase got her. Allegedly, right? And he just kept pushing like, at BravoCon, you never know. At BravoCon, you never know. I was like, what? So if you're going to BravoCon and Captain Jason, might find you attractive.
We're gonna go and investigate. We'll have to put that on our schedule.
Listen, Rob sent us to BravoCon. Can you imagine? But anyway, with that, everyone, Thank you so much for listening and being in the chat. It's really so much fun because of the chat, and we're gonna try to nail down a at the same time every week. It's just next week Big Brother starts.
Yeah.
So that is gonna, so we'll, I think the first 2 weeks probably will be a little bit clunky because of it, but we will get a time down, and we will, be here every week. Obviously, that's happening. It's just timing. Bear with us. But thank you so much for being here. Make sure you leave us 5-star reviews on Apple or Spotify, whatever is the best podcatcher for you. That's really helpful for us. And make sure you subscribe to the Bravo TV wrap-up feed so that when Rob knows that y'all are still listening, just because he's gone. Listen, both of us are here. Okay, this is a treat. So let's make it happen. All right, and then if you get us to 100 reviews, Chappell said he'll put on the costume. He's gonna be the Captain Cutie for sure because of it. Chappell, your DMs are gonna be ruined.
That's fine.
Yeah, so with that, go to Apple or Spotify, leave us that 5-star review, subscribe to the feed so more people can find us. And with that, Chappell, as if they don't already know, but where can the people find you?
Follow me on Twitter at Chappells_show. Follow me on Instagram at ChappellTNT to keep up with all the podcasting that I'm doing. The last week on Rob and I's podcast, Nothing But Netflix, we talked about They Clone Tyrone with Aaron Robertson and my best friend Tyrone. So that was a good time. And then we also have been talking about, I think I guested on the Hot Dummies feed last week to talk about Love Island. I was on the 90 Day Fiance podcast to talk about Before the 90 Days with Puya. The Walking Dead is on hiatus right now, and so we'll be waiting until the Daryl Dixon show on The Walking Dead comes in September. So you have a little time for that. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, catch that this fall when it comes back. And then, of course, this week on Nothing But Netflix, I think we're talking to Mari about Deep Fake Love, the show about deep fakes and dating, and it's a scandal or whatever the case may be. But we're going to talk about it this week, so subscribe to Nothing But Netflix too.
Perfect. And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter at funsize_04. And I'm doing a lot this week, but as always, over here on Rob Has a Podcast, I am on Mess Magnets, where we talk celebrity gossip, we talk hot topics, and Kirsten will be gone this week, but I will be joined with Lavina Queen to chat about everything. That should be out later on as well. And over on Post Show Recaps, I'm talking with Jason Reed about Secret Invasion. Finale is here, baby. So go to the Everything is Super feed to check that out. And of course, just like Chappell, I was also on the 90 Day Fiance podcast, but I was on the 90 Day the other way. So check that out with Puya over on the 90 Day feed as well. And just like Chappell, I will be the guest for Hot Dummies this weekend. So I'm talking Love Island with Kirsten this weekend. So go check the Hot Dummies on Island feed. And I was on RHAP Game Night as well. If you want to check that out. No, I'm just kidding. And of course, Chappell and I cover Never Have I Ever on Silent Podcast. So check that out as well. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.